is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for April 1st, 2024. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. Just announced, Korn are headed to the Xfinity Center in Mansfield, Massachusetts with Gojira and Spiritbox on Saturday, September 21st. Tickets for the entire tour are on sale now. Shinedown are announcing the unveiling of something very special today at 10:30 Eastern. You can watch at shinedown.com. But don't forget, today is April Fool's Day. Over the weekend, Angus Young turned 69 years old. And there's new reporting on AC/DC's Power Up Tour that went on sale in Europe. Their first shows in Europe since 2016. AC/DC managed to sell 1.5 million tickets in just 24 hours. According to Chris Dalston, the co-head of international touring at Creative Artists Agency, he said, quote, "It's staggering and gives you great faith because it's very particular in how they conduct their business. They don't do VIP. They don't do dynamic ticket pricing. They never want to hear fans complaining about ticket prices being too high." He continued, there's also a point where you have to push it a little bit because otherwise they couldn't afford to tour, especially when they're playing 1 day on and 3 days off. Obviously, the goal is hopefully to have them continue if they enjoy it and it all works well, to try and keep them out in 2025, 2026, and 2027, however long they want to go, but we got to get them through Europe first, he said. Linkin Park have announced they've reached a settlement with their former bassist, Kyle Christner. Back in November of 2023, Christner, who played bass with the band from 1998 to 1999, filed suit against the band and several related labels, disputing the distribution of royalties for numerous songs that he claimed to have been involved with. He's seeking to have the courts establish exact songwriting credits for each of the disputed works. The band released the following statement saying, quote, "We are pleased to announce that we've reached an amicable resolution with bass guitarist Kyle Christner. Kyle is a very talented musician who made valuable contributions to Linkin Park at a pivotal time in 1999. He performed with the band in several shows and many record label showcases and helped to write and perform on many of the songs from that era, including some of the songs on the Hybrid Theory EP. Cake has confirmed new tour dates across the United States, including shows in California, Texas, Oklahoma, and Virginia. Tickets for the entire run that start on May 10th and wrap up on September 13th are available now. Roger Glover from Deep Purple was asked about the decision to enlist Dweezil Zappa, son of Frank Zappa, to remix the band's iconic album, Machine Head. Roger saying, quote, "It wasn't our choice. I mean, this was coming from the record company. The record company wanted Dweezil because obviously of his father's connection. We had met Dweezil, I think 4 or 5 years ago. He got on stage with us and played a couple of songs with us, and we played the Montreux Jazz Festival. I didn't really get to know him much. He was just a nice chap. He came and played guitar. That's all I remember." He continued, "I think it's probably a marketing thing, but I thought it was a cool idea." James Hetfield from Metallica says he doesn't believe that his love of cigars is having an impact on the quality of his singing voice. He's known for sparking up backstage before shows and is even part of a cigar fellowship where he gathers with friends every week to smoke. He launched his own cigar in 2022 called the Blackened M81 and later followed that up with a second cigar, the S84 Shade to Black. On a recent episode of the Metallica Report podcast, he said, quote, "There's a lot of people around me that are concerned about that and the health and whatnot, but it has not affected me that I know of. I feel that I'm singing the best that I have in a long time, and I'm doing my best, and I get to enjoy that as well, so we'll see." Jerry Seinfeld paid tribute to Billy Joel last week at his 100th sold-out show at Madison Square Garden. Joel's first concert at Madison Square Garden took place December 14th, 1978, and every concert of his since has been a sellout. Seinfeld paying tribute to the milestone, saying, "I am from Long Island like Billy is from Long Island. He captured how we feel living in this particular part of the world. He's like the companion that we'd gone through our whole lives with. His music is our best friend for our whole life." Despite playing a pivotal role in Amy Winehouse's 2006 album, Back to Black, It's been confirmed that the character of Mark Ronson will not be in the upcoming film of the same name. The confirmation comes after Canadian actor Jeff Tunk claimed in an interview with the Daily Mail that the scenes he had filmed as Ronson had all been cut from the final movie. The director, Sam Taylor Johnson, has since responded via a spokesperson saying, quote, "The character of Mark Ronson has never appeared on screen in the film, so it would not have been possible to cut all of the scenes, including Mark Ronson, as they do not exist." Former Skid Row singer Sebastian Bach has admitted that he, quote, "feels like a piece of shit because he's been unable to reunite with the band." Saying, quote, "For me, doing 3 albums with Skid Row, I was just getting started. I didn't think it would be over and done with so quickly." He was asked about reconvening with his former band, saying, quote, "I can definitely see that happening, considering that they play the same songs I play. When I get a substantial royalty check from an album that I did with musicians that I haven't been in the same room with since 1996, I feel like a piece of shit because we should be giving something back to the fans that have made this great life possible." Sebastian Bach just recently announced a 2024 North American tour in support of his new solo album, Child Within the Man. And Lzzy Hale from Hailstorm has announced she's taking over as the lead singer of Skid Row after vocalist Eric Gronwall earlier this week announced that he was leaving. She said, quote, "This is totally wild. I can't believe my VHS audition tape finally made it in the mail. I started listening to Skid Row when I was a teenager growing up on the East Coast in central Pennsylvania. They were one of the only bands at the time that truly bridged the gap with my love of 80s big choruses and riffs, but at the same poignant dirt and grime that was seeping into the cracks of my mind in the 90s. Roger Daltrey, frontman from The Who, is addressing his mortality weeks after his 80th birthday. Hitting the milestone on March 1st, he gave a long self-examination to the UK's The Times while explaining his decision to step down as the curator of the annual Teenage Cancer Trust charity concerts, saying, quote, "I have to be realistic. I'm on my way out. The average life expectancy is 83, and with a bit of luck, I'll make that. But we need someone else to drive things." And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 199, featuring Chris Jericho from Fozzy, is available now.